Yoo-hoo, precious treasures. Welcome to the Possibility Partners TV show. I'm Ande Lyons, your host and Chief Possibility Officer of Possibility Partners, where I help early-stage entrepreneurs build, brand, launch their businesses without spending a fortune or wasting a lot of time. And every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, it's my privilege and honor to share what I call Andelicious advice for entrepreneurial adventurers. And this is where I bring a seasoned and experienced entrepreneur who shares their amazing wisdom and advice to help you grow and thrive and prosper with your business. Now, whether you're just launching your first entrepreneurial adventure, or you're like me, launching my fifth entrepreneurial adventure, we want to maximize our success, right? So please hop on over to andelyons.com and download my free 7 essential strategies for early stage entrepreneurs. Not easy to say, but it's very helpful for you and your business. It's my best advice to make sure you and your business reach your full potential. And speaking of full potential, wow, I feel so blessed and lucky and fortunate to have the Create, Live, Be goddess, Christine Bowen, with me today. Please say hello to this wonderful, amazing woman as I bring her up on the screen. Hi, Christine.
Hi, Ande. Good afternoon and good day to everyone. How are you?
Oh, I'm so great, and I'm so thrilled you're here sharing your wisdom, because you are a role model for so many entrepreneurs out in the world. You bring such wisdom and a wonderful, peaceful way in how you share your information. It's just lovely, and I know you're loved and beloved by many here on Google+.
Thank you so much.
So, before we begin, I always love to say a quick how-do-you-do to folks who are here live in the beginning, and I know we've got our Daves from the UK. We have Dave Pipe and Dave Moore sharing, and for those folks who are watching but haven't chimed in yet, be sure to let us know where you're hanging from, because, you know, we're just one howdy-do away from making a new friend, so live hangouts on air are a wonderful opportunity for us to connect and engage with each other. So I'm so thrilled you're all here joining me today, and we're going to find out about Christine's entrepreneurial journey. Every entrepreneur has a story, and I'm always fascinated to find out, gee, were they born that way? Were they creating a business at the age of 5? Or did circumstances in life happen that caused them to embrace this wonderful way of being in the world? So, Christine, darling, please share with everybody a little bit about what compelled you to become an entrepreneur.
In one word, mother. My mother. Yes. Ever since she was the age of 10 in Jamaica, which is where we're from, she's been generating income for her family as a fashion designer. At the age of 10, she created the bridal gown and the dresses for an entire bridal party, which is impressive.
Wow.
And so as she raised me, I've never seen her work a job. She's always been self-sufficient. And so in high school, my last year in high school, I decided to put on my own entrepreneurial wings, and I became a freelance graphic designer in Jamaica. So I was generating my own income at the tender age of 16, contributing to the household, and that venture lasted until I moved to the state in 1992.
Wow. From early on, Christine had a wonderful role model with her mother. And, you know, some kids would be like, hey, thanks for the role modeling, Mom, but I'm so going to work for someone else. And my husband and I wonder about that with our kids as they watch us. We're both entrepreneurs, and I got to tell you, sometimes it's a little edgy. So I don't know what effect we're going to have on them. But I love that Mom had such a great effect on you, Christine. Tell us more. So you moved to the States in 92. What happened next?
Well, I fell into the picture of what the American dream is painted to look like. Find a great paying job, climb the corporate ladder, buy your home and your beautiful car. I mean, this was the picture I had. And I went that route. I started at minimum wage and worked my way up to a six-figure income as a contractor for the federal government here in the DC area. And I had a great career. I worked for different companies in the art and design field. However, because of the economy, I kept getting laid off. And yeah, so in 2004, which was my third layoff, as a project manager, I thought, you know what, I need to go back to what I know and why I came here, to be an entrepreneur. So I was reintroduced to entrepreneurship through the network marketing industry through my husband back in 2007. And I am so grateful to be a part of that industry because it's really helped me sharpen my skills, not just as an entrepreneur, but as a person, become a better person. And today I'm back to being a freelance designer and a consultant and branding, and the opportunities just keep arising. So I'm really grateful to be in the space that I'm in right now.
I've always been a huge fan of network marketing because the skills you learn in that industry, they really pump you and fill you with self-development, personal development, words of wisdom. I mean, one of my books back here, All You Can Do is All You Can Do. One of my favorites that I gathered once when I was working at a network marketing business. And I tell people all the time, if you really want to step up your game and get the kind of coaching that's hard to get anywhere for free, this is a wonderful way to go. So how did you build your team in your industry?
Brick by brick, Ande. Brick by brick. I had no experience. I actually used to turn my nose up to the industry, but now I'm an advocate. I'm still actively involved in the industry, and I'm one of those people that had no experience, so I just became a student. Like you said, this is a personal development program with a compensation plan attached. So person by person, word of mouth, that's where I discovered and developed my passion for networking, which has now spilled over into social networking online.
I love that. And I find, someone like you is, of course, hugely successful, in my opinion, in my experience, in something like network marketing because you're a wonderful teacher and you're patient and you help bring people along. You're a wonderful leader, and I think those are some core ingredients, not just for your industry, but for many industries. What were some of the challenges? Share one big challenge that you maybe stumbled over or went aha and learned from over the last, 8 years?
Yeah, can you believe it? The biggest challenge for me over the last 8 years, not so much today, but the tendency still there is comparison, comparing my progress to someone else's.
Boy.
That's a mind game.
I gotta tell you, my favorite quote is, comparison is the thief of joy. The second you compare yourself with someone else, you are taking away your gifts to the world by comparing. It's hard not to. I mean, it's a human frailty moment. It really is. Right, Christine?
It definitely is, especially so as I was, in quotes, a fledgling in the industry, and everyone saw the natural gifts that I had, but in the literal translation of our business growing, my husband and I, when I say we were building this business together, we, like anyone else, had to go through the ups and downs, but I didn't understand it. So I would see other people join the company after us and skyrocket to success, and I'm thinking, well, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not having success? And I would go, Ande, I had black tie pity parties.
I love that. Well, that happens for many business owners. We get out there, we put out our shingle, we think, okay, we're here.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's like not going the way we thought it would, and we see someone else have that meteoric rise, and we go, what are they doing? We can't compare. It's our journey, it's our experience, it's what we need to learn. That's why the entrepreneurial adventure is the best thing you can do for yourself, because it creates such a deep relationship with you and who you are. And boy, when it sends you limits, and you just push them right away. Right, Christine?
Absolutely. I can say that what opened my eyes to truly embracing my uniqueness and my journey, it started 4 years ago with my diving into online for networking as well as my personal branding journey. That first year for me, and continues to be, it revealed so much about myself and how special I am, just like we all are. We're all unique individuals, and we have our own special gifts to share with the world.
We sure do. We sure do. What was it about the personal development aspect of network marketing that really appealed to you? Because clearly you embody it beautifully.
Oh, thank you. Everything. I believe that our mission in life is not our vocation. It is to be the best person that we were designed to be. And in doing so, we can naturally translate those gifts into a vocation, into a service, into helping others, and living life the way we were designed to live it, having fun and smiling every day.
And you talk a lot about laughing and how important that is. What is it that, I mean, of course, I'll giggle at anything, and I, of course, especially love it when someone laughs at my jokes with me. But what is it about laughing that you really appreciate, and why does it work so well?
Laughing, it scientifically, even though I'm not a doctor, it is a form of therapy. Laughing, it causes the chemicals and endorphins to go to your brain, and it allows the joy factor to be turned up to a higher level. So I find that laughing every day, even on the days that aren't so great, just finding some kind of joy, whether it's your pet cat, like the one that's sitting right here at my feet, or calling a friend, or just being able to laugh at yourself.
Well, I have to tell you, that's one of the gifts that my husband brought me, was learning to do a better job at laughing at myself, because we can get so caught up in our perfectionist
I know.
that sometimes we're a little harsh on ourselves, right?
Yeah, we tend to be harsh on ourselves, and I've learned through courting myself, which is something I encourage everyone to do, is court yourself.
Oh, that's
Date
beautiful.
yourself. We don't invest time to date ourselves. We want to date everyone else and measure them up to whether they're up to our standards. But I find that in courting myself, I'm much gentler with my soul. I don't criticize myself as much.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful, and that will definitely be a tweet for me. How much are we loving Christine L. Bowen's advice today, everybody? This is Antilicious advice, hands down, no fooling around. I'm loving it. Be sure to visit her, as it right there on her name tag, ChristineLBowen.com, to find out all the wonderful things she's doing in the world, sharing her gifts. I'd love to take a moment, Christine, just to say hi to some wonderful people who are hanging out here with us today and share some of the delicious comments they're making. So here we have Danielle. Yes, Danielle, and typically that metaphoric rise was years in the making. You're right. They sat down and they had that overnight success 10 years in, right? I love that. And I'm so glad, George Green, that you liked the quote, "Comparison is the thief of joy." It's really one of my favorites. Richard O., networking is about relating. I'm a big fan. Thank you. It really, really is about relating. And Dave Moore, oh, this is a beauty, Dave Moore. Mothers and fathers are sometimes terrific role models for us all. And what a tribute to our parents if we use what they taught us then to be who we are today.
Ooh, I like that.
Exactly. I mean, life is about contrasts, and sometimes our parents provide us the best contrast to be who we are today. And I love that, Dave Moore. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone who's in the comment stream today. We really appreciate you and seeing you here. And I hope that you'll join us in the after glow chat that we have after I hit end broadcast. I'll grab the link to this room here, the green room, put it in the comment thread, and I do hope you'll join Christine and I for an impromptu conversation. No cameras will be recording. We'll just have fun conversation. So, Christine, let's talk about mindset, because sometimes on the entrepreneurial journey, we do have to reset our mindset. It can get scary. Sometimes there's no money to even eat. And yeah, I've been there too many times to count. Or we have wonderful, wonderful experiences. Then all of a sudden the phone stops ringing and we're staring at our computer and it's staring right back mutely. And things happen, and we can all, our lizard brains, our cavemen and women brains, can hold on to our fears. Don Purdom, one of my favorite entrepreneurs, says, boy, if I'd be a billionaire if I had a dime for every time I had a negative self-talk moment. Share with us some of your practices and advice for focusing on the positive, on what's working in our lives.
Wow, Andy, do you have 2 hours? I'm just kidding. You know, the reason I decided, I didn't decide. It was revealed to me that mindset is my message through Create Live Be, is because I recognized with the negative self-talk, with the comparisons, with how I was speaking to myself just in everyday life, not just in business, that mindset is not 90% of the game. To me, it's 100% of the game. If we have the proper mindset, that not only drives the proper actions, but it attracts all that's good, all that you're designed to work with, the people that you're looking for. Everything that you desire comes from a beautifully guarded mindset and nurtured mindset. So I started nurturing my mindset 4 years ago with my branding journey. And every single day that I get up, I reset my mindset. And it's not just the general mindset. I also tap into the creative mindset. That's the differentiator. Because, yes, we need to nurture our general mindset, but when we tap into the creative mindset as entrepreneurs, oh my goodness.
Tell us more about creative mindset versus general mindset.
Yes, creative mindset that's the seat of our imagination. It's the connection from my perspective, it's the connection to the divine. And the divine is a creator. It's all around us. Nature, our own bodies, and everything is in harmony. The only thing that's not in harmony on this earth are people. And that's because we tend to get this negative mindset and allow it to take over. But when we tap into that creative mindset, not necessarily meaning that you have to become an artist in a literal sense, painting and so forth. It's nice if you have that talent, and most people have the desire to express themselves creatively, but it's also just in the way that we think and look at things. Right. One of my biggest mindset mentors, rest in peace, is Steve Jobs. And having an innovative or creative mindset opens your world up to originality, being who you truly were designed to be, as opposed to being a copycat, which can be frustrating. So I find that the creative mindset is the freest part of our minds. It's where we're unlimited.
I love that. And I don't have a creative bone in my body. When my oldest is very talented, and he'd bring his projects to school, and the teachers would say, "Did you have a hand in that?" And I'm like, "Heck no, I couldn't do what he does." But you know what? I have a creative problem-solving brain. Yeah. I love swirling around to find out, how do I solve that? How do I figure that out? And I never need to know the answer ahead of time. I love letting it, as you said, divinely come through me. So I want folks to remember to look at themselves, again, not comparing your journey to someone else or who you are. Just tap into what your gifts are, because you have them and we need them. I just feel very strongly about that, everybody. So Christine, what else can you share about your wonderful mindset? What happens when we're struggling with uncertainty and feeling uncomfortable with not knowing? That's big in the entrepreneurial journey.
I'm telling you, that not knowing thing, I've learned to embrace uncertainty. I find that the brilliance of our lives is in the uncertain moments. It's the parts that we try to control and predict and coerce and force. That's when we become frustrated, and angst. All that angst builds up in our mindset. Right. Whereas if we just allow things to be, I believe greater opportunities come our way. But there's a flip side. There's a flip side that goes with that. We need to prepare our minds to be aware of those opportunities. So I did share with all my social networks that I would share one tip, one immediately actionable tip that will allow you to tap into your creative mindset. It's very simple. You don't have to have a certain type of religious belief or anything like that, or any special skill. Is just breathe. Just breathe. And let go of whatever you're doing. Close your eyes and just breathe for 5 minutes. And that will allow you to tap into that space. And let me tell you something, once you tap into it, it's like an addiction. You go back for more and more and more. So that's my, in quotes, secret strategy for going with the flow. It's just breathing.
I love that. That's a very simple thing to do. However, our minds, again, it just takes time. It's just finding a space. Even if you're sitting in the car waiting to pick your kids up, right in the car line, taking that deep breath and focusing on that. I love that tip. Thank you, Christine.
Sure.
I want to share a wonderful comment from Walter Simpson. Christine L. Bowen has definitely hit the nail right on the head. Mindset is a powerful magnet. Thank you for that, Walter. It's so true. Another thing I like to remind myself when I start getting fear going, and all you have to do is turn on the news, and you're going to be dead in so many ways. Dead broke, dead this, dead that. Forget it. So I try to remember that life happens for me, not to me, for me. And if you use that as something, how you can look at the world as a benevolent place and not a harsh and scary place. How do you feel about that, Christine?
Absolutely. I love your philosophy. I love your energy. Can I just say that publicly? Everyone, before, I've never been a guest on Ande's show, and I still am pinching myself that I'm on your show, Ande. And before the show, she had us go through a breathing exercise just to center and ground ourselves. And so I love that you said that life is happening for you. We can be either victims or victors in our lives. And it's just in how you now to get a ooh from Ande, I have to come back to earth on that one. But it's true. Personally, I filter. I think it's important for all of us to guard our mindsets consistently every single day, throughout the day. So personally, I don't watch the news. I don't even read news online. There's certain headlines that I'll track through my RSS feeds. But I try my best to keep myself guarded from that, because what you focus on expands. It really does. And we're energetic beings. We're living in an energetic world. And so I think Walter hit it on the head. It's like a magnet. Our mindset is a magnet. So whatever we focus on, whether good or bad, will attract it to us.
That's so true. How do we handle, especially online here, there are bashers and haters and folks out there. I've been very blessed. They stay away from me, and I feel very honored that they're off doing their thing. I don't get involved. I don't pull on any threads that have negative feelings to them. Even the best of memes, if they start off with a don't or something harsh, I can't even share them, because I just feel like it's my job and my honor to try to always come from a place of using my impeccable words. Absolutely. What do you do to manage the negative online chatter and folks that swim by on your stream?
I know. That's a fantastic question, and I love how you are nurturing your audience, by the way, Ande. You are just amazing. Those who know me and keep up with my social media activities know that I'm very active on social media, because part of my vocation is social networking and branding and online. And so I take at least once a week what I call a 24-hour social media hiatus. I check out, and I let people know I'm checking out too. So they won't come looking for me and won't worry about me. But I do check out, and I utilize that time not just to be offline, but to do what I call a creative mindset reset. and I dive into things that will nurture me. So I have my top 5 books sitting right here on the desk. I'll grab one of those, or I'll take a walk with nature, which resets your mindset. So yeah, taking consistent breaks from social media, very important.
Yes, I think that's
Easy out there, Ande.
it can be if you look at it too long, and it can suck you right in if you're not careful. And again, that's it. Really, everything is an exercise. And I just, first of all, thank you for your generous comments. I take them into the deepest part of my heart. Thank you very much, Christine, for your fine, fine words. They mean the world to me. Thank you, thank you. I want to turn to a wonderful comment. It's a little long, from our friend Ray Montero. And he says, I'd like to share that there are 2 sides to everything, not necessarily opposite sides, but side by sides. The mechanics side versus the mindset side. When doing the mechanics, the mindset must be big. Is your why bigger than your butt?
I love
In
that.
other words, is your reason, your why, for doing that thing bigger than your excuse, your butt, and that's B-U-T, of course, for not doing something. And wow, that is so, so true. And especially for entrepreneurs, if you're in business to pad your wallet, it's just not going to work for you. You have to have some passion deeper in why you're there and why you're doing your work, because the dips that you go through need you to have a greater vision and a greater purpose for doing your business and being in your business and living in your business. What are your thoughts about that, Christine?
Well, Roy's one of my favorite people on the planet. And I'm so excited that he's here with us live. And he has been the very first thing he asked me. We met on social media on Twitter 4 years ago, and one of the first things he asked me is your why bigger than your butt, and I absolutely agree. Makes me think of Simon Sinek's Start With Why.
Right.
There are lots of ups and downs in entrepreneurship, and there are more downs than ups. Like you said, Ande, there are days that you don't even have money to buy food. I've been there too. So your passion is what drives you to continue, though. I would rather eat a morsel of something and be fulfilled and happy than have a fat bank account and be miserable.
Oh my gosh. Amen. Hallelujah and high five, because for me, and I tell my boys this all the time, it's really about feeding your soul and your body, not just your body. And that's why we have so many folks who are ill or taking meds, because they're feeding things that really, at the end of the day, don't fill your soul and fill so much about you. So, Christine, oh, wait, here we go. We got Kitty. Oh, sweet, precious treasure.
Sometimes he gets jealous when I'm on Hangouts, so.
I love that. So, how do folks work with you? What possibilities are you seeing on the horizon? Share.
Wow. First, thank you for allowing me to be here on this space with you. It's been priceless. And how do you get in touch with me? At ChristineLBowen.com. And all my social profile links are there. I'm mainly on Google+. This is my home base. This is my family. My personal home base is Instagram, but you can also find me on Twitter, on Facebook, LinkedIn, at Christine L. Bowen. And what's on the horizon? Unlimited possibilities.
Yay. Thank you for that. And yes, Ray went on to say that you have one quotable soundbite, or I would say tweet after another. And Roy, I also want to say, too, that you give engaging online new meaning. You really do dive deep when you meet somebody online. Right, Christine? He really is a great example.
Absolutely.
What last thing would you like to share with folks before we wrap up?
Last thing I'd like to share is disrupt thyself. Disrupt thyself. Just choose something and look at it differently. Don't look at it for what it is. Doesn't matter what it is. You can never be wrong. That's the beauty of tapping into creativity. Imagination, your imagination is the hood ornament to the car of creativity. So just disrupt your thinking. Look at life differently. Look at one issue that you're facing right now in your business. Just grab a piece of paper. use a crayon, don't use a pen or a pencil, and write down what the issues are and look at both sides. Just flip it, sniff it, and trust me, you will come up with some fantastic ideas.
Oh my gosh. You guys understand why you need to hang out with Christine, right? I mean, not only are you in great hands, but you are with somebody who cares deeply that you have the best experience possible and the best resources possible in life in order to be fully expressed in life. I love that. I'm so thrilled and honored you joined me on the scene. At this point in the show, I'd like to do my mwahs and waves hello to those folks who swung by and said, hey, Andy, I'm so excited to watch the replay because I can't be here live. So you know who you are. Elaine, mwah. And Allie Paulin over there in Australia, you're sound asleep right now. I'm blowing you a kiss. Mwah. Who else can we? Oh, Barbara Sherry Rose. She's been a great friend in California. Tracy Baker, who's always busy this time. Christopher Pearsall. Gail, you were able to show up. I'm so excited. Hi. And I think I got everybody. So thank you for all of those of you that showed up live. Seriously, your engagement means the world to me. I know Christine had her boost of energy fixed from all your wonderful comments, right, Christine?
Absolutely. I'm feeling wonderful right now.
Yeah, it's such a treat, and I'm so grateful, and I hope that you'll be able to join us in the room, and I hope that you'll take time to connect her wonderful social media platforms. She's just all about the love. And I hope you take time to also say hi and connect with me as well. All the links are in the archives and how to connect with Christine and myself. And in the meantime, please hop onto YouTube, subscribe. It's Andylicious Advice everywhere you go on my YouTube channel. I'm so grateful that you took time here today to join us in this wonderful conversation about how to reset your mindset. It's a key ingredient to the entrepreneurial adventure. And to all of you who are out there every day moving your business and your life forward in an entrepreneurial way, thank you, thank you, thank you for having the courage to pursue your dreams. I am in awe and wonder of you. Until next Tuesday, wishing you a delicious week. Mwah!